Well, if it's, I, I don't know if, oh yeah, transcript is happening too. Great.
Yeah,
Cool.
awesome. All right.
Okay.
So thanks, everyone. Welcome back to the chat. So I'm in sunny Brisbane at the moment. I'm not sure what it's like in Cairns, but it's pretty nice here in Brisbane. I'm down here at the moment. We had the pre-launch for the Movember campaign last night. Awesome to catch up with the crew last night to have a bit of a chat, catch up with some people I haven't seen for a while, just have a chat about what Movember is doing this year and what we've got planned. So I was really excited. These events are really, really good, and it's a great opportunity to catch up with the Mo Bros and the Mo Sisters and all the guys that deal with Movember on a daily basis. So it was really great to have a chat. Now, I'd like to welcome to the chat a very great honour, and I really appreciate her time and patience today, is the Mayor of Cairns, Amy Eden. So, Amy, thank you for joining in the chat. I really do appreciate it. I know you're busy, so I do appreciate your time. So, um, what I do for Movember, and it's kind of a flow-on effect from last night when we're talking about men's health, but it's not just about men's health. We're talking about women's health as well, supporting the most sisters out there. And I love to get the conversations I've had over the last few weeks have been in the corporation of male and female, old, young, black and white, yellow, pink, purple, whatever the case is, whatever ethnicity, whatever sexual preference, whatever the case is, just to get their opinion on what Movember, mental health, but also what women's health means to them as well. So I know me personally, this will be my 17th year with Movember. And I try to do a lot of thank you. Try and do a lot of stuff to support breast cancer awareness as well, hence the pink and what I do. For me, it's just it's nothing to kind of raise awareness for women's health as well as men's health. So, and I know a lot of people have had different experiences when it comes to mental health, men's and women's health as well. So I'd love to get your opinion, kind of just a bit of an understanding what not just men's health, but mainly women's health means to you, and if there's anything out there in the community that we can support as well.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for having me. It's definitely a very good cause and a worthy conversation. So I hope the listeners do get a lot out of it. Conversations like these, topics like this are really good conversation starters, but they're really important conversations to have, not just obviously with myself as the mayor and yourself as an advocate, but with your colleagues, your family, your neighbours, all and sundry. And I mean, you've got some pretty good conversation starters going on there.
Yeah.
Mental health and well-being for men, for women, for children, for adults, it doesn't matter. It's really important. And I'm a social worker by profession. So it's something that I've probably been very aware of and very active in that space for a very long time. When it comes to men's health and women's health and sexual health with the breast cancer, ovarian cancer, etc., sometimes I feel like it's a bit token. It just kind of sits to the ether.
Sure.
And sharing stories are probably one of the most powerful ways to really share the message and let you know that mental health, cancers, etc., they do not discriminate. You can go to the best school, have the best healthcare, it doesn't really matter. You can be living, in a really tough time, it really doesn't matter. There's no
Yeah, that
discrimination.
yeah, that's it. I was down on the Gold Coast this morning having a chat with a friend of mine who I've known for quite a while, her husband, and she's happy for me to talk about this. Her husband passed away not too long ago from brain cancer. And I was really debating within myself, do I ask her to contribute to this campaign that I'm doing this year? It was really a hard decision for me to just ask her because obviously she's in that mourning period and and was a tough and we had a really good conversation and she was happy to to do that and which was really great and we actually had to stop halfway and then kind of just start again because you could see that it was taking a toll on her
Yeah.
but she was happy to go ahead with it and talk about that. So, um, yeah, it was a good conversation, but it was a tough conversation. And I know, like, when I try and raise some awareness and just get the brand out there, it's not necessarily the brands, but it's just the just the appearance, I suppose. You know, I kind of don't do things half-assed. I kind of go in there and I'm all in or I'm not. A topic that a conversation that I've had with many people is I got a young girl, probably about 8 years old, came up to me at Cairns Central with her mother
Mhm.
and wanted to and obviously has seen me and wanted to have a chat and talk about the fact that she's probably seen a male in his 50s who wears pink. And then that conversation got started. She was probably a little bit too young to really talk about the really important stuff when it comes to that. Like she didn't know about Movember, but she kind of knew about breast cancer. But
Mhm.
it's, you know, it's having that impact, it's having that statement, you know,
Yep.
showing somebody, you know, that they care and they're doing something about it. So for me, it's really a no-brainer to you know, throw out there and show some support for the most sisters who have supported me over the years. I think it's the least I can do.
Yeah, it's obviously this time of the year is very important for breast cancer awareness, and I popped down to Queensland Breast Screen. I was talking to the ladies there. I
Yeah,
did some social promotion as well. I've always tried to find a way to do that, whether it's a little bit of sponsorship. My mum's been buying me the bloody diaries. It was, I'm like, I don't use them, Mum. Like, we can
yeah,
donate them. Just make the donation.
yeah,
So it's just probably been something that's, for our family. My mum's mum had a double mastectomy, and she had two sisters with breast cancer. My dad had a sister who didn't survive breast cancer.
well,
So probably for our family, it's quite real. So we've
yeah,
always tried to do something, make sure that people are aware. And for myself personally, I had a benign lump when I was 21 and had to have it removed.
yeah,
Um, so it's just something, checking your boobs and get your know your knockers and all of
yeah,
the sayings and
yeah, yeah.
the different groups out there. For me, there's no shame in that, but I do appreciate that some people still feel like it's a little bit uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah, and that's a stigma like I think really should be knocked on the head, and it's nothing to be
Agreed.
ashamed about. Like, you know, where you know, it's when it comes to men with testicular cancer,
Mm.
there's like, you know, there's promotions out there with Movember. It's like, no, you're nuts, you know, and it,
Yeah.
you know, and there's a lot of information regarding breast cancer, like, you know, to where to check and what to feel and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
there's I'm sure if you can hear the plane going overhead, but it's loud.
No.
So they and there's promotions going around for testicular cancer, you know, getting the guys to understand what to feel for and stuff like that. You know, sometimes it just has to be kind of really dumbed down and just like, you know, just this is what you do, this is what you feel for, whether it's your breast, whether it's you know, your testicles, whatever the case is, and really, you know,
I think if you break it down and make it more mechanical or procedural,
yeah,
it takes away any of that discomfort. So I don't know if you remember, but like going to the dentist and taking my kids to the dentist when they're little,
mm,
it was like, okay, this is what you do. You get the toothbrush, you get the toothpaste, and you do this, and you do this, and you go in here and you check in here, and you've got to make sure you get up here. And
yeah,
so you're going through this mechanical type process, making sure you're aware of everything you need to do and check for. So you can do that in your own space,
mm,
obviously ongoing. And I think it's the same. Like I remember going to the doctor and going, "Can you check my boobs for me?" Oh, you can check it yourself. I said, I
mm,
know, but if you can do it for me and talk me through what you're doing, what you're feeling for, what you're
yeah,
feeling, and describe it, that helps me for when I do it, because I was only like in my 20s,
yeah,
early
yeah, yeah,
20s. That helps me when I do my own checks. And they're like, oh, absolutely.
yeah,
And so
that's it.
I'll do my own checks and then I'll get them to check and then we can talk about, the different things that we're feeling.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good way
that's it.
to
Yeah,
educate and empower, I guess.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I think there's that, I don't know, there's a shame or like embarrassment than getting somebody to, you know, feel a part of your body you don't feel comfortable for them sharing, you know what I mean? So
I'm
Whether
well
it,
past
yeah.
that.
Well, that's good because
Because
like,
I want to live a long, happy, healthy is the key life.
yeah, that's it.
And to do that, I mean, I guess, do you take your car to a mechanic?
Mm,
Do you get your books and your receipts checked by an accountant?
that's it.
Equally, you go to a professional to get checked to make sure that
Yeah.
you can continue to be happy and healthy.
Yeah.
So that's up here, happy and healthy, as well as physically healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's not just your physical health, but it's obviously your mental health as well. I was having a good chat with one of the guys who was part of the Cairns and Hinterland Hospital Board Association who got the new mental health ward up and running Cairns base. So
Mhm. Mhm.
and he's in his 80s and
Oh, wow.
he's pretty much that same conversation, that same mentality. You know, he's very obviously old school. He's a lot older than us, but his thought process behind someone who's older as opposed to someone who's my age, for example. You know, it's about getting out there. It's being part of the community. It's not just your physical health, but it's your mental health. You know, a lot of people just sit at home, potentially just feeling, excuse me, feeling sorry for themselves, not sure what they want to do with their lives, and kind of get into that rut of
Mhm.
not um, being outside, being part of the community. You know, you don't have to. You know, it's a matter of going to the Heritage Society, for example, and just volunteering a couple of hours of your time a week, just getting out there and being part of the community, just not for your physical self, but for your mental health as well.
Yeah. It's about being part of something other than yourself, bigger than yourself,
Yeah.
giving you a purpose. There's some pretty amazing research in America with return veterans
Yeah.
and making sure that they're assigned these jobs, which is volunteering,
Mm.
and gives them this sense of purpose. And the mortality rates have just decreased significantly.
Yeah.
So, you can't underestimate the power of having a purpose.
Mm.
You need a reason to get out of bed. You need a reason to contribute. And I guess, there's been a lot of education and a lot of promotion on where you can go if you're not feeling right. You've got the Black Dog, we've got Beyond Blue. There's a whole range. But I guess particularly for young people and maybe even for older people as well, what are some of the things they need to be kind of watching out for? They could just be going through the motions and not realize that maybe they do need to get a check-in.
Yeah.
But, we've been really focused on knowing who to call or knowing where to find someone, but maybe not so necessarily how to do checks and check-in. When you check your dipstick in your car for the oil,
Yeah. Yeah.
checking the car's engine, like there has to be ways that you can check in with yourself to
Yeah.
see how you're traveling.
Yeah,
'Cause-
that's it. For work, you know, I deal with a lot of different people on a daily basis, and the conversations can be pretty taxing on mentally. So
Pretty heavy.
yeah, they can be, and it's a matter of knowing your own limitations, but also, you know, if you need to have time away, then it's just basically, I've got to get up. I just got to, speak to somebody. Say, okay, I'm just going to walk away for about 10 minutes. I just need to have a bit of a break, get outside, get some sun,
But I guess how
debrief
did you work? How
myself.
did you learn that? How did you know
How?
that you needed that?
I think you just, for myself, I just know it. Like, the conversations can be pretty heavy. It can range from so many different impacts on that person's life, and it can affect you. I suppose it depends how long you listen to that conversation for, but it's knowing yourself that you need to take a break for your own mental health and just walk away from the situation, because you could be talking to somebody straight after that conversation and it could have an impact on that next person you're speaking with. So it's better to walk away from it, take a breather, just get up and move. Really,
Yeah.
just get away from where you are. And work is very supportive of that as well, which is good.
Yeah,
So
great.
yeah, I'm not sure about the council. I know that some businesses have internal or external support. Is there any support if somebody needs some support within the council?
Yeah, we've got an employee assistance program,
Oh,
EAP.
yep.
State government have it. A lot of big like co-ops have it. Like Woolworths, Coles, Bunnings, they will all have their employee assistance program.
Yeah.
Generally, you get anywhere between 3 and I think 10 sessions, free of charge. It's all completely confidential. It's
Mm,
external, so no one at work is going to know
mm,
anything. And you don't even have to talk to them about work problems. Like if you've
yeah.
got your son who's having a tough time, or maybe, you've got a supervisor issue, or your husband's going through cancer and you need some support, you can use your employee assistance program to have those kind of conversations. So that's a really important resource that is available, and everyone's got to have access to that.
Yeah.
Mental health plans are really good too.
What was that? Sorry.
Mental health plans are really good
Yeah.
too. And, going to the GP and getting a plan so you've to a counselor is
Mm.
really, really a good asset to have. And I
Yeah,
guess the hardest
absolutely.
point is knowing who to call, right? Who's the
Yeah,
right person for you?
exactly. It's kind of knowing where to start. A lot of people don't actually just know where to start. They just don't
Correct.
have a for you and I, it might sound pretty straightforward. You talk to your doctor, you talk to your friends, you talk to your colleagues at work. But someone who doesn't have that support, someone who's homeless or someone who's not working, they may not have that outlet that they can just reach out to and have a chat. Can be very difficult.
Mm.
I know me personally, I've had my psychologist on and off for about 7 or 8 years now. Her background is sports psychology, because I used to race in triathlons for about 10 years. So it was getting a sports perspective, trying to speak to a psychologist about that,
Yeah.
because triathlon's very, it's a very individual sport,
So,
but
yeah,
well, that's it. Yeah, but you're competing against hundreds, if not thousands, of other races, but you're still competing within yourself.
yeah.
And that can be really taxing on your minds, really taxing. So when I reached out to her, we found out more information. It wasn't just sports psychology. It had family issues, family related stuff as well. So I was kind of breaking it a bit more down to, you know, find out really the real reason,
Yeah.
And I reach out to her when I need to. It's not a weekly or a monthly occurrence. It could be a couple of
And
times a year. So yeah.
a lady that I worked with, obviously being a social worker before being a mayor. It's funny actually, when I first became a counsellor. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a counselor. Oh, must be such hard work. I'm like, oh, not that kind of counseling. It's a different type of counselor. But
Yeah.
back before being an elected member counselor, this lady that I worked with, she was a psychologist, and she had a private practice, and she had been doing her private practice for, I don't know, 15 plus years,
Mm.
only on Saturdays.
Right.
And it came to the point where, she really needed to take her kids to soccer and different things. So she was giving it up. And it wasn't the new people that were upset that she'd just kind of, started seeing. It
Mm.
was the people that she had been their backup for the last, 15, 10 years. Anytime something just didn't go quite right in their life, they knew who to call.
Yeah.
And she was their safety net. So I guess it's important while you are in a good state of mind to do the research to find out who your safety net could be, what service, what counsellor, what psych. So then when you are, not at your best, not operating on all cylinders, if you will, if you're talking like a mechanic, then you know where to go, you know who to call, and you've got someone there almost in your back pocket. So that's a
Yeah,
really
that's
good
it.
tip. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Having that good social network of friends who are
Mm,
willing to help and support you, is good. I know a lot of people find it, a burden to, burden their friends with the
mm.
conversation. They don't want to bombard them with all this information, and I know that can impact a lot of people. It can be difficult. But I think, going back to what we were saying before, knowing who to reach out to, there's so many external support. I refer a lot of people through to Ask Izzy. I'm not sure if you're aware of that one. Yeah. It's definitely a good resource for a lot of people if you need, and it's not just mental health support, it's accommodation, it's financial counseling, stuff like that. A lot of people are impacted. You know, they've got no money. Obviously, the times that we live in, it can be
Very tough.
very difficult. Yeah, absolutely. So, um, yeah, and I know you just touched on it earlier. You know, you have yeah, your family has a history of breast cancer.
Yeah,
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 yeah. So I've had some genetic counseling myself, to explore about, getting tested for the BRCA gene. And I had a health scare towards the end of the year and had surgery, major abdominal surgery, this year. So, my biggest message is, please listen to your body, be observing the cues. Things change a little bit. Don't necessarily write it off. You are the expert of you.
yeah. That's it.
Um, so, if you need a second opinion, you get a second opinion. You'd
Yeah.
rather have a second opinion than get it wrong the first time. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think a lot of people, especially men, you know, older men, let's face it, it's generally older men. A lot of the time, they're really hesitant towards getting themselves checked out. There's kind of the mentality of, oh, it'll go away. You know, if it goes away, it's probably too late. You know, you can't do anything about it. It's terminal. It's not just going to disappear and not come back. You know, if it's pretty bad and it goes away, then yeah, it's not a good result. So it's yeah, definitely getting out there, getting the support that people needs, and yeah,
I
yeah,
guess it's also probably being mindful, particularly if you're in a relationship, if you have children, if you're a grandparent, the ripple effect of your health on those in and around you that love you. So getting checked is not a selfish thing. You're
mm,
doing it for your support network and your loved ones as well. They don't want to see you not have good health. They don't want to hear the words, it's terminal.
yeah,
So, not just thinking of yourself, but thinking of them as well, should really be a motivator to get checked. For me personally, I have a pretty busy life. Got a couple of kids and a FIFO husband, and things just get away from me. So I
mm,
just have this thing where every January I go to the doctor and I just get all my checks and tests.
yeah,
And it's just every year, as if it's like a dental checkup. I just go and get my health checked to get all my bloods done. I get poked and prodded and I just get checked because my life is just too busy and otherwise I would forget. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
to me is just a really good way. Just, of course, I'm checking throughout the year, but it's just a good
Mm,
way to get a bit of baseline data, for me to know myself and my body. And then for me, it was also, I talk about it with my kids. So
yeah,
they know
same. Yeah.
it's a really good habit to get into about checking out your health.
Yeah, that's it. You're the second person who said that
Oh, okay.
they get themselves checked out, like you know, go literally from head to toe, inside and
Yeah.
out, just do the whole kit caboodle. And just briefly touching on the children, like I've got two boys, they're
Yeah.
21 and 22. They know what I do within the community, and obviously, you know, they're not, you know, obviously
They'd
the
be
looks that
very
I
proud.
yeah, well, they are. I know they are. You know, the looks that I get, there's no, you know, they don't care. It's dad doing what dad does. Um, when I was talking to I've had this conversation with my eldest as well. That was a good conversation to have because you know you're not kind of sure where the answers are going to lead to. Does he want to tell me
Yeah.
things he doesn't want me to know about?
Yeah.
But it's no, it was good, and I think having that trust within your family within your children, especially, you know, we know what children are like. We've been children. It instills good practice for the future.
Yeah, yeah. Children are sponges, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of
it.
like monkey see, monkey do. So if you go and get your teeth checked, which is a really good way to make sure that you've got good health too, because dentists can pick up the most amazing things. Getting your eyes checked,
Yeah,
they're really good habits for good mental health, but also good physical health.
yeah,
Uh,
that's it.
just can't spook it enough. So yeah.
That's it. All right, Amy, I appreciate your time today. I know
Pleasure. Thank
your
you,
time
Ben.
is precious. No, that's fine. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to reach out and have a chat. I do understand that you're busy, and I do appreciate that. Um, it's obviously going to be going out on socials throughout the month, so hopefully there'll be a lot of people who can take some
Yeah.
advice and guidance from the conversations that we're having. And yeah, I'll see you out there on the street somewhere in your travels.
Stay
Yeah,
pink.
I missed you at yeah, I will. Don't worry about that. I missed you at the Tanks Father's Day markets.
Oh,
I
that
was
was
there.
good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always it's a good
The
event. You know,
tracker.
it's yeah, it's always a good event. So that's yeah, it's really good. So all right, enjoy the rest of your
Lovely.
day. Okay,
You too. Thanks, Ben. See you,
thank
mate.
you. Bye now.
Ciao.